Did TMZ really uncover hidden words in the Nolan Wells distress call? Or are people hearing what they expect to hear or want to hear? A digital forensic expert has stepped in. Expert Robert Fried analyzed the original and the TMZ enhanced version. His team found that TMZ's clip was 20 seconds longer, and the two files had different digital fingerprints, meaning they weren't identical copies. Robert Fried, the expert, said that he could not verify what TMZ is claiming to hear. Even using forensic transcription software, he said nothing close to those words appeared in the analysis. He also explained something called expectation bias. Once someone tells you to listen for a specific phrase, your brain often starts hearing it. Fried also believes that the original that was released is heavily redacted. He says account numbers, phone numbers, and other information had been removed, and he wants to examine the original recording and its metadata before reaching any conclusion.
That last "he's dead" or "it's dead," it could be "it's dead." Remember, they're panicking over the boat, so it kind of could make sense for them to be talking about the boat. You know, also something was malfunctioning. It's supposedly a pump to pump water off of the boat, right? So it looks like there's water that is somehow gotten into the boat, or like, you know, the ground of the boat. In order to not sink, there usually is a pump that works, that will just pump it over. But if the pump is dead, and that's why we got to remember terminology now, like would it be normal to say, hey, it's dead, in terms of the pump is dead, or maybe you're referring to the boat itself? Maybe that's what they were talking about, but I think this is what they believe malfunctioned.
What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today. Hey, we back at it like we never left, man. So new information has come out. TMZ has put out a video with a transcript. We're going to take some time to check it out. We're also going to watch Officer Tatum debunk said video and transcript from TMZ. And there's some additional information, some breaking news in reference to Nolan Wells and his condition. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
Were Nolan Wells' friends talking about him and talking about him possibly being dead while they were on their way back to the mainland from Horn Island? This is all because of some audio that we got from officials down in Mississippi. This audio is a call that's being made from the boat that Nolan's friends were on. So after they're on Horn Island on July 4th, at the end of the day, about 4:30, they decide they're heading back to the mainland. And the owner of that boat, or the grandson of the owner who's driving the boat, realizes that they are taking on water. Their bilge pump isn't working, so he places a call to a tow company called Tow. And while he's on that call, there is a lot of commotion going on. And what people think is that in the background of that call, you can hear someone say, "Is he dead? Nolan. Oh my God." It's really hard to make out. This is what it sounds like.
Before we play this, I want to say this real quick. Why would they call for help if they've actually done something to this young man? That right there in itself doesn't make sense. And have all of this commotion going on. If they were trying to cover up a crime, the last thing you want to do is call for help, especially when you know said call is going to be recorded. Mind you, this is in the middle of the day. Obviously, this happened at 4:30 p.m. And this is them leaving the island that had thousands of people there. None of this adds up in the sense that, you know, something nefarious happened. None of this adds up, man. It just doesn't. And the police has said that they have gone through, they did a search of the boat. Now, granted fact, no information has been released, but if there was, you know, any signs of foul play, especially on the boat, it would have been released. And also in the autopsy itself, or at least the one that Ben Crump and those guys mentioned, they didn't mention that there was any, you know, bruising, broken bones, contusions, anything along those lines that would lead you to think that this young man, you know, was physically attacked or harmed in any shape, way, form, or fashion. I'm gonna play this clip, but what these people are trying to say happened, it's just not adding up.
Okay. Fight for that. Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you? All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir?
No, we do not need that.
All right.
Oh, shut the f- up. No, we do not need that.
Now, there are other parts of the audio where people think they hear the words check his chest or wake up. One thing you can definitely hear clearly is the guy who's calling the tow company says, shut the bleep up. Now, he could have been yelling to some people. He does tell the dispatcher that there are about 7 people on board, all of them under the age of 20, under 21, he says. Now, here's what doesn't make sense. If they really were, and again, that audio is very difficult to make out. I mean, you can definitely hear, oh my God. The Nolan and Izzy dead part is up to interpretation. What doesn't make sense is why would they, if they had something, if there'd been foul play and something happened to Nolan or someone did something to Nolan on that boat, why would they be talking about it loudly while he's on the phone to a tow company? Just doesn't add up. People we've spoken to in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, say that that whole conversation here in the background is just chaos as these young, I was gonna say kids, but these young men were trying to get back to the shore and the boat's taking on water. They're all trying to figure out what to do. Are they gonna have to get off the boat? That's what all that chaos is, what we're told by people connected to the kids who are on that boat.
You also add in the fact that they were drinking, they were out in the sun. If you've been around young people, you know, who are, indulging in libations, you know they're gonna cut a fool, and you know they're loud. And the dude telling them to, shut the bleep up, he's telling them because he can't hear what's going on. Come on, man. It doesn't make sense unless you're telling me, and in fact, we know criminals are dumb, but unless you're telling me these are the dumbest criminals ever to do something and then call and then have all of this going on in the background. I mean, come on, man. It's just not adding up. But let's listen to check out Tatum.
Now, here's the enhanced audio because I want to go through, and we're going to go in through this whole thing, and we're going to debunk, provide more context, information that most people are not trying to do at all. Now, I listened to this myself, and we got the young lady who claimed to enhance the video. We're going to play her testimony on here. But this is bullcrap. It's bullcrap for 2 reasons. One is that when I listened to the audio, I didn't hear none of this stuff that you see on this thing. I didn't hear nothing of the nature.
I didn't either. And I listened to the full audio myself, and I didn't hear any of this. But this doesn't even make sense. Can we cover it up? Yeah, I thought all about that. He's already, is he? Really? Really? Come on, man. That doesn't make sense.
And then when you have context, you realize none of this could have been said because Nolan was still alive on the island, witnessed by more than one person after warning them had already left. So how is they talking about Nolan dead on a boat when somebody saw him alive after they already left? After they made this phone call. Y'all got to stop playing.
Stop lying so much. But you know these folks be lying, man.
And just be honest for a change. Roll the clip. Here, time out. I started over. I want to give you guys a chance to turn your audio up, get into a place where you can hear, freeze this, pause it, or whatever you got to do. Turn your audio up. And be honest about what you hear. And do you hear things like, can we cover it up? As if they're saying cover up a murder. Yeah, I thought about that. Maybe they're talking about the hole in the boat. What they call the bilge port or something like that? Bilge pump. So maybe they're talking about the bilge pump. Maybe they're saying to cover that up. But no, y'all got to say somebody killing somebody in Nolan Wales' death. Roll it and tell me, do you hear any of these things in the comment section that you see on this screen right here? Roll it.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
All right. Go back to that screen real quick. I want to just look at what they're saying. They're saying cover up. I heard something similar to cover up, and that they probably was saying, can we cover up this hole that's in the boat or whatever that port is? It says you killed him. I didn't hear that. He's already dead. I didn't hear that. Is he dead? I didn't hear that. Nolan yells, or they yell Nolan. I didn't hear that. Nolan, wake up. I didn't hear that. Wake the F up. Now, we heard him cuss and say, shut the F up, right? We didn't hear no wake the F up. Where? Now, how you get that out of this video? Y'all gonna go to hell, you keep playing and lying and putting stuff out there. Come on, play the lady that did the enhancements. I wish she didn't have a UFC shirt on, but that don't mean she worked for the UFC. I hope she don't. Because this ain't a good look, in my opinion, if she has something to do with that transcript. But let me let her speak. Roll it.
Okay, so before I play this, I want to quickly explain what I did, what you're looking at on the screen, and why I chose to approach this audio the way that I did. As a professional audio engineer with experience in dialogue editing, dialogue cleanup, sound design, and post-production, I decided to work on that CTO call using traditional audio processing techniques rather than relying on any AI voice separation or AI enhancement. My goal was pretty much to preserve as much of the original recording as possible while making the quieter dialogue and background audio easier to hear. So I basically used techniques such as subtractive EQ, compression, gain adjustments, noise reduction, frequency isolation, and other traditional processing methods. So what I did was I separated Vicky, the CTO dispatcher, from Warren and the audio originating from the boat so that I can concentrate more closely on what was happening behind and around Warren, pretty much on the boat. And I specifically chose not to rely on AI because aggressive AI enhancements and voice isolation tools can sometimes introduce artifacts and distort the speech or create ambiguity around the sounds that were originally present. And for something this serious, I wanted my processing to remain as conservative as possible. You'll also notice time code and dialogue written on the side of the screen and pop up.
So she wrote this stuff on that screen. She wrote the stuff y'all just heard. She wrote. Now we're gonna listen to the full video. Let her finish.
During each segment. That dialogue represents what I personally hear as an audio engineer while processing and repeatedly reviewing these sections.
You know these folks be lying. This is no different than the dude in the Carmelo Anthony case who said that he saw the video footage and, you know, when it come to find out, there was no way that he could have, and they came up with all these elaborate stories about what happened and what went down, and there was 4 or 5 dudes that jumped on the guy. This is no different, man. These people lose credibility by the day. This is outrageous, man. This is outrageous.
Pretty much providing it as a listening reference, not as a declaration that my interpretation is the only possible interpretation. And that's important. I want you to listen.
That was said right there to protect herself, saying that this is what I heard, but this is not what, you know, if you didn't hear it, hey, I'm just saying, but this is what I heard. That's the way for her to protect herself, because she knows she's lying.
For yourself, use headphones if you have them, listen closely and decide with your own ears what you believe is being said. And you can also return to the original unprocessed recording and compare directly with what you're hearing here. You'll also notice that my time code may not match the regular timestamp on the original uploaded video. And that's because I'm working inside a professional post-production timeline. digital audio workstation, basically using SMPTE time code, which in film that's displayed in hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Film and TV timelines are completely different from timestamps that you see when you're watching regular videos or when you're watching a movie and you hit pause. So basically the time code on the screen is there to identify the precise location within my working session, not
Okay,
to represent
I can't listen to her anymore. Keep her face up there. I want the world to see this. We're gonna listen to the full thing together, and then you're gonna hear the context around it, and then it's gonna sound super crazy that this woman thinks she heard that within the context of what we're gonna listen to. None of what she said makes any sense when you listen to the whole video and you put the context together. Why does this? And she sounds so smart. She probably did very well in school. I take it as she's being disingenuous. Why is the smartest and most brilliant amongst us putting out garbage like this? I listen to it. Y'all listen to it. Ain't nobody talking about, did you kill him? And all this other stuff. All right, now let's go to the real video, the audio. Let's listen to it together. It's long, it's lengthy, it's 8 minutes and 40 seconds. But if you care about the context, I want you to listen in. And we're going to play the whole thing, and then we're going to talk about it afterwards. But I want you to listen to what you've been seeing online, listen to what the young lady said about her editing strategy, and then I want you to listen to the tow dispatch, and then in context, how any of that stuff makes sense within what you hear. Roll it.
Connect you.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
Time out. So he's identifying that he's at the west tip of Horn Island. So he's not. They're not off in the sea in the Gulf of America. They're not a distance from the island. He's on the island in a boat in front of everybody. That's the context here. I'm on the west part of Horn Island. He's finna give GPS coordinates here in a minute, but this context is taking place right on the island in front of everybody. Roll it.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right. Well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on that account, sir.
I don't know the phone number. It's either. I think it's. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag
Unless
on
you
here.
have a
It got ripped
membership
off.
number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How
on
many?
board.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right. All right. Do you have your current GPS coordinates?
Let me go look.
Time out. So I just want you.
He sounds awfully calm for there to been something happening on the ship. Let me go and look. He sounds very nonchalant. Unless you're telling me these are calculated, cold-blooded individuals, it's just hard for me to believe.
Put it in perspective, like at this point, with all the stuff that you've heard, does this sound like it's a cover-up? Like this is made a fake call in order to cover up the fact they killed Nolan? Or did they have killed Nolan right here during this call in front of everybody? Roll it.
If not, I can send you a text message.
North. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm available.
North 3 degrees. But 4672.
All right, 4672. All right, and you were breaking up a little bit. Can you just repeat it one more time to make sure I have it correct?
Sorry, look.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
So you're breaking up. If you need assistance, do you have a VHF radio?
No, we do not have the VHF radio.
All right, well, let's try to get you going because you don't have good cell phone reception. Can you verify
Time out.
your coordinates?
If you notice, she said you don't have good cell phone reception. And this is one of the reasons why Nolan didn't have his phone on him and why most people didn't have their phone on them. Because if you don't have good cell phone reception, you're not uploading nothing on Snapchat and Instagram, and with 1,000 people out there, your reception definitely ain't gonna be good. So this would make sense why Nolan and others left their phone on the boat and they weren't in the water with their phones. No reception anyway, even if you had your phone on you. So why would a person have their phone on them in chest deep water with no reception or limited, weak reception?
Yeah.
Okay, roll it.
One more time.
Okay, my coordinates are 30 degrees by 14.684 north, and then west by 88 degrees by 46.79.
Right, it looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in 17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. Where do you,
All right,
and
pause.
what do you...
The coordinates has them on Horn Island. They were just, because I was there, and it looks like the first, I don't know, 70 feet from the island, maybe 100 feet from the island is you can walk in it. But then there's a drop. If you go out enough, you could drop straight in the water. And so they're just maybe a boat or two length outside of actually being on the island. They gave the coordinates. The dispatcher said, are you actually on the island, like physically? That's how close they were to Horn Island. She thought they were physically on the island. So that means that all of this is going on literally in front of everybody. And we got a picture real quick. Can we put that picture up? Remember that picture that we had on a Substack of the boat? Let's keep playing the tow. We'll play the tow until we're ready for the photo.
Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor, or Fort Bayou Launch.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No,
All right,
there's
pause.
no children.
All right, let's put that image up here so you guys can kind of see. This is, if you notice, they're literally almost on the thing, and here's them getting towed out. That's everybody and their mama can see what's going on in that boat. If there was a fight, an altercation, a dead black man on that boat while they're getting towed on this strap right here, everybody can see them. The people that's at Horn Island, the people driving to Horn Island. Like, I think it's helpful when you see it with your own eyes. They're literally right out there in front of everybody.
Yeah, and this isn't one of those, this isn't one of those like, big old yachts or something like that, where something could be going on under the, at the bottom of the ship or something along those lines. This is a ship that's looks like it's flat and it's wide open, and you can see everything that's going on the ship. I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand why they, have come up to this conclusion that, these youngins did something to this young boy on this ship in broad daylight in front of everybody. It doesn't make any sense. But I want to play this next clip for you because there's been some news that have come out in reference to young.
Breaking news coming from Officer Tatum, ABC, and TMZ. Nolan Wells was allegedly drunk, heavily drinking, drunk, I tell you, when he chose to stay behind on Horn Island when his friends left to get their sinking boat back to land, all in pursuit of a female, an unknown female. Like we've been saying since day one, there was going to be alcohol involved, there was going to be ass involved, and there was going to be a young man with high testosterone involved. And those three things usually
The recipes for disaster.
We get men in trouble.
Yep.
It's just facts. We don't think with this head. We think with this one. I'm 49. I still think with that one as much as it will allow me to. Let's read the story from Officer Tatum's Facebook page here. It says, new report. Witnesses say Nolan Wells had been drinking heavily before choosing to stay behind on Horn Island with, quote, an unknown female. According to ABC News, a document sent to the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources on July 5th, the day after July 4th, for those that don't know, stated that witnesses told investigators Nolan had been drinking before he disappeared and chose to remain on Horn Island after his friends left. Now that and this next paragraph here are going to completely debunk the entire bullshit phone call, the CETO call that was AI doctored by a lesbian in Texas yesterday that blew up the internet. TMZ is also reporting, citing sources with direct knowledge of the investigation. They sound important to me. They sound more legit than all the bullshit the culture has been floating around here as factual information. Continuing, the authorities have evidence Nolan was on the island after the boat departed. Those sources claim at least 2 witnesses interviewed by law enforcement said they saw Nolan after his friends headed back toward the mainland. Boom! Goes the racist narrative right there.
And there you have it, man. Shout out to Clay Edwards, man. We're trying to get him on the show. Hopefully we'll make that happen in the very near future. But, this is so sad, man, because they're just continuing to muddy up the waters, man. And whoever it is, that is behind, continuing to push a false narrative, to try to, tug at the heartstrings or tug at the anger strings, of people to make them think that, these young men did something to Nolan. It's awful, man. And again, my condolences to him. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells. This is a very sad situation. This is a tragedy. But when you have people out here willing to, make up things and come out here and lie for some like, clicks, and views and some follows, and then, just to continue to sow division, amongst the people, it's not helping. It's not helping anything. This is sad, man. I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. A link in the description box below. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.